Hello, and welcome to our seminar, When Faculty Say X. I'm Dr. Renetta Tull, and I am the Associate Vice Provost for Graduate Student Development and Postdoctoral Affairs here at UMBC. I'm also the Director of the National Science Foundation Promise Program for the University System of Maryland, and it's my pleasure to welcome you. I'd also like to thank our speakers, our moderator, Dr. Nanda Devi Cortez, Dr. Tim Oates, Dr. Brian Cullum, Dr. Marie Christine Daniel Onuda, Dr. Susan McDonough, Dr. Claudia Galindo, and Dr. Kimberly Moffitt. We thank you all for being part of this seminar. This is a seminar that we have every year, every October, for graduate students because we really want to make sure that you as graduate students have an opportunity to hear from faculty, to hear their expectations, and to also learn about some of the unwritten rules. This seminar used to be called When Faculty Say X, They Really Mean Y. And many faculty members came to us to say, when I say X, I really mean X. And so then we thought about that and we said, well, sometimes what happens is that students interpret things a little bit differently. And we want to make sure that there's clarity on both sides. And that's one of the reasons that we're bringing faculty together with the students. You also had a chance to go online and to post different questions to our faculty anonymously, and I thank you for being part of that. On our particular panel, we have people from the humanities and social sciences. We also have people from the life sciences. We don't have anyone from engineering and IT, and that's actually my field. I was an electrical engineer, and before I came to UMBC, I was a faculty member at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I led a speech technology lab, which was part of a department of industrial engineering. And so I want to give that perspective, but also the perspective of some of our speakers in the past. Certain things that they would say to graduate students, and sometimes it was determined or interpreted a little bit differently. So here are a couple of those tips. One of them is, if a faculty member says, I want to have a draft of a particular paper, document, or publication, they typically don't mean the first draft. They mean the third draft or the fourth draft, something that represents that you've spent some time going through the grammar, that you've already checked your references, that you've checked to make sure that the information is as correct as possible, and then you're giving it to them as a draft for them to check. So that's one thing. Another thing is when a faculty member is giving a talk, whether it's part of a colloquium or if you're at a conference with them, they are expecting you as one of their group members to be there. And to be there early, sometimes even in the front row. Sometimes there are students who think, oh, that's optional, my advisor is giving a talk, I don't really have to be there, or they're at a conference with their advisor or with their group, and they think, oh, well, this is a nice time I can go and see somebody else's talk, or maybe get a little bit of extra rest. And one of the unwritten rules is that your faculty member expects you to be part of the group. When you're going to a conference, many times there are sessions that the faculty member wants you to attend together as a group. And there are several reasons for that. Maybe there's information that they need you to know, and they want to make sure that every member of the group has that information and is able to then move forward in the research with it. There might be certain people who are in that session, and they want to make sure that you have an opportunity to connect and to network. They might want to even introduce you to some of the people who are within their networks, and so you need to be there with them so that they can do that. And the same thing happens at their colloquium. When they have a colloquium or a talk in the department, they're expecting you to be there, and they're expecting you to engage and to be part of that group. But I think the most important thing, and one of the things that we really want to make sure that you are doing, is that you're engaging with your faculty. Many times we're doing things online, and with the age of MOOCs, the age of online kinds of training and different courses that are online, we have a tendency to really rely heavily, overly so, on email. It's important that you have face-to-face communication and that you actually talk to people. Having that human contact is still important. And so if there's a situation that you're going through, if there's a question that you have, sure, some of those can be taken care of through email. But you really need to have conversations with your faculty member. Go and talk to them during their office hours. Make sure that you are present during your group meetings. So if you have group meetings and your advisor is calling them every week, those are not times where you decide that you're not going to attend. You need to attend all the group meetings, all of their classes, be fully engaged with them. And if there's something that you're not sure about, if there is something that has happened and maybe you want to gauge their response, then talk to them about it. Ask them, have a conversation about it. Don't just bring it up in email and have a confrontation in email. Go and talk with them. Ask them if maybe you have interpreted it a different way, or tell them how you were listening to it, how you think that it was expressed, but you want to make sure that you're on the same page. Make sure that you follow up then after with email to make sure that you are actually on the same page and you can move forward. These are some of the things that I want to start with, but our faculty who are here on the panel are going to really be the stars of this particular event, and they're the ones that are going to answer your questions. And so Dr. Cortez is going to go through the different questions that you have posted online. She's going to ask them of the faculty members who are here at the event, and they are going to answer your questions. And so I wish you the best of luck. I'm sorry that I can't be with you today. I'm giving a talk in Chicago at Northwestern, and I had to get on a plane so that I could be there. But I wish you the best. Feel free to follow up with me in email if you have any questions, and I'll be sure to help to demystify the process or to answer any further questions. Thank you, and I'll turn it back over to Dr. Cortez.